Hi there, I'm Rachel Cole, and welcome to 12 News Weekend. Each week, we bring you the most compelling, inspiring, and talked about stories from across the valley, all reported by our incredible team of 12 News journalists. Here's what's coming up on today's show. A dramatic international scam ends right here in Arizona. We'll tell you how one man was tracked down overseas after conning a woman out of $400,000. Then a Valley mom is taking action to protect her kids from the hidden threats of the digital world. Her story and the tools she's using just ahead. But first, it's the end of an era for Arizona basketball. This week, we learned that Kevin Durant is parting ways with our Phoenix Suns. Our 12 Sports team looks back at his impact on the court and what's next for the team. All that and more right now on 12 News Weekend.
At forward from Texas, 6'10", number 35, Kevin Durant.
A superstar rival in the middle of Super Bowl week. The biggest trade in Valley sports since Charles Barkley.
Hey, come on now, we got Kevin Durant in the Valley.
The first major move for new Suns owner Matt Ishbia.
I always loved playing here in Phoenix.
The welcome matching the excitement.
It's pressure because I'm one of the best players to ever play the game.
But real feelings for what the Suns gave up.
That was the spirit of our team with, having those twins.
Took a month for KD to hit the court. Then thanks to a pregame slip, KD's home debut delayed 10 minutes before tip. Durant playing in just 8 regular season games. The Suns went 8-0.
Shaking your head for part of it. Greatness don't shake his head.
KD's first playoff run here, they beat the Clippers in 5 games before losing to the eventual champs, the Nuggets, in 6 games.
It's embarrassing. They came out and hit us in the mouth. We couldn't recover.
That offseason, they traded away DeAndre Ayton and Chris Paul and assembled what was supposed to be the best Suns team ever.
That's the PHX KD.
New Big Three, new coach, same average results. KD, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal only playing in 41 games together.
We was trying to figure out lineups on top of what's the best system for us.
And despite KD playing at an MVP level, the Suns were swept by the Timberwolves in the first round.
The narrative around the house is burning, it's incorrect. The Phoenix Suns are doing great.
Summer in Paris, KD and Book winning Olympic gold. That confidence coming back to Phoenix with another new coach.
Kevin's so good, and can we make it easier on him?
A 9-2 start quickly faded. By the All-Star break, the Suns were shopping KD behind his back.
Let's get this straight. I haven't been through this.
Becoming the 8th player to reach 30,000 career points, the only thing worth cheering about the second half of the season.
We get too small to the camera again.
The Big Three only played in 37 games together.
It's tough, man. Game, man. We didn't play our standards up to our standards at all. We embarrassed the fans.
The last sighting, hobbling off the court with an ankle injury, fittingly against the Rockets. KD would miss the final 7 games of the season. The Suns missed the playoffs, becoming the most expensive failure in NBA history. And 2.5 seasons after arriving in the Valley, the KD era is over.
Welcome to the Student Athlete Venture Studio offices. When athletes are able to come in here, they're able to sit at each of their own cubicles, they're able to get their work done, get their internships done.
Having a summer job can look different for college athletes.
While I was in undergrad, I launched my own company called VB America. It's a volleyball lifestyle clothing brand. My company has been able to see success through the efforts of ASU.
In January, Arizona State University and GoDaddy teamed up to launch the Student Athlete Venture Studio, supporting Sun Devils in their entrepreneurial and NIL journeys by providing resources and mentorship to kickstart careers.
My venture is Fuel Warden. It's a nutrition and wellness management platform for elite athletes. It's still in the works right now, but I've been programming it myself, putting everything together, meaning with investors and things like that.
It's like Shark Tank for Sun Devils, with student athletes pitching their ideas at the end of the year to receive funding for their venture.
These are the checks that we will be handing out to student athletes.
We're encouraging entrepreneurial mindset, design thinking principles, things that are applicable while they're here at ASU as an athlete, while they're leveraging NIL.
The goal is to inspire student athletes to build their brands now and equip them with the skills to excel in business.
Everything that you could need to truly succeed in entrepreneurship, they're bringing here to athletes at ASU. Helping me scale up my venture, look at my pitch decks when I'm meeting with investors.
Whether it's through sport or a startup, ASU gives its athletes an opportunity to pursue their passions and tap into their competitive nature through this new program.
Competition is ultimately what breeds success, and so we're leaning into that heavily.
And I figured I would grace the chamber with my own Casey at the bat themed explanation.
Oh dear.
The outlook wasn't rosy for the D-backs' grand demand.
The Arizona Diamondbacks opponents took their swings.
Families like mine are drowning while the state debates building a stadium.
And they struck out.
By votes of 19 ayes, 11 nays, you've passed House Bill 2704.
The Diamondbacks are now one vote away from landing a huge pot of tax dollars to renovate publicly owned Chase Field. Here are 5 key deal points in legislation passed by the state Senate. Taxpayer funding from several sources would total $1.2 billion over the next 30 years. One of those sources, the city of Phoenix, would redirect $166 million in sales tax revenue generated at the stadium into the renovation fund. Tax dollars couldn't be spent on luxury suites or club seats, and the stadium site would be turned over to Phoenix at the end of a 30-year lease. For their part, the Diamondbacks are expected to spend $250 million, but there's no way to enforce that, short of repealing the billion-dollar tax subsidy.
If they were to go away, you would make the valley downtown equivalent to a death valley.
The Diamondbacks' lease at 27-year-old Chase Field expires in 2 years. Billionaire team owner Ken Kendrick has made veiled threats in the past about leaving. In recent weeks, business groups mounted a robocall and email campaign to keep Arizona Major League. Diamondbacks CEO Derek Hall said after the Senate vote, "This has been a long yet collaborative and productive process, and I'd say signs are pointing toward a positive solution."
Coming up, how a Valley veteran's healing journey led him to an unusual place, a farm in Scottsdale, where rescue horses are helping people reclaim their lives. That story coming up.
Michael Brumlow joined the Army after 9/11, serving multiple deployments in Iraq and Afghanistan. But when he returned home in 2013, the real battle was just beginning.
Found myself in a just bad place, dark place, struggling, didn't know what to do.
For more than a decade, Brumlow tried every type of therapy available through the VA and on his own.
I got to the point where I felt like I knew the therapy manual as well as the people asking me the questions, and got to a point where therapy wasn't doing anything for me.
Then, last fall, he lost his best friend to suicide.
I was on my last leg, and it was my last prayer, and it's like, if this doesn't work, I don't know what else will.
Brumlow's wife suggested horse therapy. When he arrived at Hunkapi Farms in Scottsdale, he met 3 horses who had their own trauma to work through.
I got to see all 3 of them show up here and be just as jittery and anxious and scared as I was, not knowing what to expect, not knowing what to do.
Phantom, Phoenix, and Presley were rescued from a kill shelter in California 6 months ago, the same day Brumlow began his journey here. Hunkapi Farms serves children with special needs, ALS patients, and runs specialized programs for first responders and veterans.
You come across the gates at Hunkapi and now you're normal. And you're allowed to let those weaknesses or those hurts or those things that you're struggling with come to the surface. And the horses do the same, but the horses meet you and heal you.
Trauma recognizes trauma. I can see the same things in that horse that I know go on in me.
For Brumlow, the transformation has been life-changing.
This farm, these horses, this program means the world to me. In a sense, it's something that has saved me from myself, saved me from the world.
These rescued horses helping to rescue the humans who care for them. On this farm, healing works both ways. In Scottsdale, Kyle Simchuk, 12 News.
A Jamaican man sits in an Arizona prison, captured and extradited to the U.S.
Here in Arizona, we've seen recent success in being able to extradite people from not only Jamaica, but from people from other countries around the world.
The FBI says Sherwayne Benjamin Belafonte used a common lottery scam to string along an 85-year-old woman living in the Tucson suburb of Vail. At some point, it turned into a romance scam as well. The suspect convinced the woman the two were engaged, sending her flowers and love messages. The victim gave away $400,000 she may never get back.
Our goal is always to make the victims as whole as possible, and that's through a lot of different ways that we can try to do it. But it's still an ongoing process,
One retired fraud investigator says international extraditions of online scammers are rare.
It's not common at all.
Tony Brown says of about 200 cases she investigated during her career at the Corporation Commission, more than half were overseas, and she knew of only 3 who ended up behind bars, but only because they brought themselves here.
One was a Canadian citizen who drove down to Arizona because he thought he was getting a bigger payout.
The FBI says lottery scams involving seniors in Arizona have surged 400% year over year. And just last week, another police agency, Prescott PD, warned scams and fraud cases continue to rise at an alarming rate, with more than $2 million in losses this year hitting the senior population.
So a lot of the people that fall victim to these scams are elderly. A lot of times, the people who are older have grown up in a more trusting era.
It goes without saying, authorities warn never open unknown links online and never provide personal information to someone who has contacted you first. We have more tips right now at 12news.com. Back to you.
It's chaos, I guess, is the first thing that comes to mind, and the monitoring.
Wanda Garcia's 14-year-old daughter, Kaylin, spends several hours on her smartphone every week. Her total screen time daily?
5 or 6 hours.
And Wanda is highly engaged in managing the safety of Kaylin on her smartphone.
I have the app Family Link, which is free, and so you can set limits on that.
When Wanda's older daughter first got her phone, she was into Snapchat, and during a group chat, she got into a bad situation.
One of the girls had let some random guy into the group chat, and so before they knew it, the guy was like, showing full frontal whatever, and when he got to the waist, my daughter just kind of left the chat room.
A stranger attempted to expose himself.
Since then, I'm like, nobody Snapchat on your phones. I don't allow it.
Wanda is more vigilant with her younger children.
The struggle with my younger kids.
Wanda uses the Android Family Link app to restrict Kaylin's screen time and access to games, and Wanda knows whenever Kaylin tries to download anything, she has to approve it. She can also restrict Kaylin's text messaging by blocking contacts.
I understand all the restrictions that they put on and why they do it, because as a 14-year-old and in this day and age, of course, there's hackers, pedophiles.
Kaylin wishes she could have more freedom on her phone, but understands the potential dangers.
My kids know that at any point in time, I'll be like, hey, I need to check your phone.
Wanda's main goal, to protect her kids.
It really comes down to communication.
Cyber safety educator John Moffitt, who's currently working with Cox, Arizona, shared some stats. 73% of parents surveyed by Cox Mobile said even with more monitoring, their kids are savvy about hiding their phone activity.
31% have admitted that a stranger has contacted their kid. And they're like, whoa. And then that stranger, 28% of them knew their child's location.
He says there are practical things you can do to keep your kids safe online, but one thing is irreplaceable.
Yes, your eyes. You gotta be looking at what they're doing.
He also recommends creating a family contract related to online activity, making sure you have your kids' passwords, keeping tabs on their text messages, and being the gatekeeper of which apps they're allowed to download.
Talk with your kids about the dangers waiting for them online.
Maricopa County Attorney Rachel Mitchell recently launched a campaign warning parents cyber predators are increasingly targeting children online.
Talk with them about what to do if someone threatens them, offers them gifts, or wants them to video chat or send photos and videos.
And check their devices regularly.
Look at their phone, tablet, computer, and gaming devices.
She recommends learning to use them yourself, all in an effort to keep teens like Kaylin out of harm's way as she continues to do her part.
Trust.
Trisha Hendricks, 12 News.
It's part of the human spirit.
Never thought I'd be a college student.
To feel a wave of emotions.
And I can really say that I'm proud of myself.
And this graduation is no exception.
The last time I wore a cap and gown was in '97, so...
Maricel Vega is one of nearly 24 women at Perryville Prison in Goodyear, graduating this session from Career Paths, a program from the Televerde Foundation, where they can earn college credit through ASU.
Legally, of course.
Their work culminating in a capstone project, pitching business ideas to a group of judges Shark Tank style.
Excellent job.
From fintech innovation to a therapeutic AI teddy bear.
It was made out of socks, hot glued, anything that we could find in the center.
Jennifer Drown's pitch,
For learning feels like love.
inspired by her son.
He's the reason why I get up every day. I wanted them to know the passion behind our company. Each one of us had a personal story.
I'm so proud.
Their teacher, ASU professor Julia La Rosa.
Probably easily 2/3 of the women, they're the first in their family to go to college inside prison.
Also overcome by the weight.
I mean, you just get your head around that. But if you can change your trajectory of your life while you're in prison, I think all of us in the community benefit.
This group marks the 1,000th woman to graduate from the program, which, according to the foundation, has a less than 1% recidivism rate. Most women landing jobs soon after they get out.
It's full of promise.
For Televerde Foundation CEO Michelle Sirocco, it's personal.
My own journey to a professional career started right here at Perryville Prison, actually 23 years ago this week. I was serving a 7-year sentence. I, just like them, had made a total and complete mess of my life. I feel like every woman should have the same opportunity as me to realize their personal best while they were incarcerated.
This is my vision board.
Back in their caps and gowns. It's big smiles and happy tears.
I didn't expect that, to get that feeling in prison, to get that feeling of fulfillment in prison.
It's also in the human spirit to push the bar.
People say the sky's the limit.
Even if you're behind them.
I see past it to the stars now.
In Goodyear.
I really do.
Erica Stapleton, 12 News.
15 minutes from downtown Prescott, hidden away in the Prescott National Forest, sits a property that has created decades of memories for Arizona families. Now, for the first time in years, the Springs Camp is on the market.
60 acres just carved out specifically for a camp right here in the Prescott National Forest.
For many Valley residents, this place brings back memories of summer adventures, spiritual retreats, and childhood friendships.
It's been really neat to see the camp grow and change over the years. I came here when I was in high school in the 80s.
The Diocese of Phoenix opened the camp in the 1970s. It's currently owned by UCYC, United Christian Youth Camp.
They're growing their other campus and keeping their ministry focused on one spot for this time.
The property is listed for $4.5 million, and there's a lot that comes with it.
So this property has both a north side and a south side. Our north side has 8 cabins, and there's a matching 8 cabins on the south side. And they sleep about 250 to 260 people in those cabins.
There's a dining hall with a commercial kitchen, a lodge for events, and enough recreational activities to keep anyone busy.
We have 2 different ropes courses, a basketball court, soccer/football court. They also have a paintball area, hatchet throwing. Yep, that was always my kid's favorite.
There's also a zip line. Realtor Jen Bergamini says potential buyers are already thinking way outside the box.
There's been everything from people wanting it to use it as a venue for weddings or events like that, to using it for a big homestead for their family. We've had people wanting to start a school.
What makes this property truly special isn't just the buildings or amenities, it's the setting itself.
It's out here by itself in the middle of the forest. There isn't really anything like that.
In Prescott, Kyle Simchuk, 12 News.
I served in the United States Marine Corps for 4 years and 2 months.
Joe Dora always wanted to serve his country since he was a kid, but he got into a little legal trouble in his teens, almost missing the opportunity, until his best friend's dad, a former Air Force JAG, stood on his behalf.
He mentioned to the presiding judge that I was planning on joining the Marine Corps. The judge asked me if that was correct, and I said it was, and he gave me a few weeks to go join the Marine Corps, and once I did, all the charges would be dropped. I wasn't a bad kid or a bad young adult. I just had, I needed direction, and I needed a little bit more discipline, and boy did the Marine Corps provide it.
He was trained to be an infantry soldierman.
I was recruited into what they call a state platoon, and surveillance target acquisition. Essentially, it's a Marine Corps Scout Sniper platoon.
He served during Operation Desert Storm. Joe says he's proud to have served his country and still lives by the values the Marines instilled in him.
Honor and integrity and service.
Joe's service continues long after his time with the Marines. He served 6 years as the commander of the VFW Post 720 and helped get this casita renovated to help house veterans in need. Now he works with his father to help veterans get the resources they need through their nonprofit Veterans Services Association Incorporated.
We get our referrals like the VFW from social workers or community partners, and we help our soldiers or veterans that are in need and give them immediate relief.
Joe was named to the VFW's Hall of Fame for his service to fellow veterans, an honor he was not expecting.
It's just an honor to be able to help others. I'm in a position where some hard work paid off, and I'm grateful to be able to reach out and help others.
Thanks so much for watching. A reminder, new episodes of 12 News Weekend premiere every Friday on 12+. You can also watch past episodes right there on the app. Download 12+ for free on your Apple TV, Fire TV, and Roku. I'm Rachel Cole. Have a great rest of your weekend.